Welcome again to another cheapwinefinder.com podcast. This is Champion Dave. And we have another wine to talk about that we wrote up on the cheapwinefinder.com website like we always do. And we're keeping it cheap again. This is under $10, by a penny anyway. Aldi. And I'll talk about why we do store brands and stuff in a little bit. And this one's the Peaks and Tides Sonoma Coast Chardonnay 2021. Sonoma Coast is west of the Russian River AVA in California. It runs along the coast above San Francisco. And it's basically in valleys between mountain ranges, coastal mountain ranges. And it's mostly boutique small wineries there. The Russian River can be bigger wineries, though there's boutique wineries there too. So it's kind of unique, interesting location. The Peaks and Tides is good names. It's all about mountains, foothills, and the wild and woolly Pacific Ocean that's right offshore. And these are good grapes. You don't get too many $9.99 Sonoma Coast wines. You just don't. And that's one of the good reasons why I like store brands. I mean, by drinking $10 wines, I found out that I like Santa Barbara wines. Trader Joe's, Aldi, Costco would have these wines over the years. And I go, oh, if it's from Santa Barbara, I like it. I found out that Monterey is bang for the buck. They're not always my favorite wines in the whole wide world, but I'm always glad I bought them and they're really good bargains and worth the money. Carneros, whenever you can find a Carneros wine, and usually we're talking Chardonnay and Pinot Noir here, in this price range, buy it. Russian River, kind of iffy. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. Which brings us to Sonoma Coast, which is interesting because you don't get a lot of them, because they are boutique-y, because they are smaller producers. They usually don't fall into the $10 range that often. They do happen for a store brand. Aldi owns the name Peaks and Tides. That way, if they have to change the producer, they can. The name stays the same, and they can keep the wine going on and on and on, just, adjust as you go along. The people who made it, I had to go to a Canadian website because in Canada, you can't hide the name of who made the wine. You can in the United States. And Delicato, they're Gnarly Head. They do Boda wines. They're a big wine out of Lodi, Napa, and they purchased Coppola wines out of Sonoma. So this wine's been around a while. We did a 2018, and I put a link to the 2018 review we did. And Coppola, I think, had vineyards in Sonoma Coast and I think Russian River and everything place else. But now, 2021, Delicato, which is a Italian family-owned winery, bought a Italian family-owned winery, so keeps it going on and on. So, and I was wondering, because I really like the 2018 version. Am I going to like the newer people? Is it different different grapes? Is it different winemakers? Everything? And no, this one was pretty good. There's vintage differences. The last one had a really expressive nose, and this one had a shy nose. But this one's full of flavor. It's nice. It's got oak, but not too much. You got a little bit of vanilla, creamy vanilla in there, and it has malolactic. It rounds the edges off the tart citruses and that type of thing. I'm gonna take a taste. Yeah, it tastes good. It does taste good. That's a nice tasting Chardonnay. And that's one of the kind of the fun things about store brands is you get grapes from different high-end locations at not so high-end prices. And then you can go explore. If you like Sonoma Coast, if you like Santa Barbara, then you can go to the wine shops and get the actual brands which are going to be there, and you can start finding which wines you like the best there. So it keeps it interesting. I mean, these are great for exploration. You get to learn about the wines, get to see what they taste like. I mean, there's a lot of variables. Just because the grapes are from one AVA and a different AVA doesn't necessarily mean that, it's going to be great. There's a lot of, a wine with California on the label, where it means it's from different places, can taste better from a wine with a fancy AVA in the label. But it's still fun exploring. And then like I said, you can go, and the next time you're in a wine shop and you see Santa Barbara, you see Sonoma Coast, and you see a wine that's in your price range, and you give it a try because you know that, hey, I like the last one. Let's see what this one's all about. And that's one of the fun things about store brands. You get to taste wines you normally maybe wouldn't be in your price range, or you wouldn't want to take a chance on. But for $9, $10, you go for it, and there you are. So that's it for me, Domain Dave, cheapwinefinder.com. I say Domain Dave again. I decided for this year I'm going to be Champion Dave, and I can never remember what my name is. So there you go. Adios. Keep it cheap. Like us where you like your podcast. I think I have another diet wine coming up, and not sure where. I think I might some Costco wine, see what that's all about again. Well, look at, we have things going on and on. Plus, I think we're going to have a YouTube channel before too long, and all sorts of surprises coming up. So keep listening. Thank you for listening. And I'll be talking to everybody in a couple of days. So adios. Bye-bye. And again, keep it cheap.